Get in, lads. The Jamaica versus USA game is just in a couple of days, as of recording this at least. So I'm here to make you guys a Jamaica versus USA preview video ahead of the Concacaf Nations League semifinal matchup. If that interests you, make sure to stick around. That consists of team news, selections, context, past meetings, I don't know, anything that I feel you guys should have context for going into this game. And like I said, if that interests you, make sure to stick around. We're almost at 1,000 subscribers, so if you want to help us out and get there, we really appreciate that. We might be doing a mystery kit giveaway once we hit 1,000 subscribers. If you want to be part of that, make sure you are subscribed because we are going to require that. Before I get started, I want you guys to comment down below your score prediction for the Jamaica versus USA game. Other than that, let me know what you think about the game. Let me know what you think is going to happen. Anything I should know before going into the game, blah blah blah, anything I might have missed, all that jazz. Make sure to leave that down below in the comment section. Okay, first off, let's start with some team news for both sides. I'm gonna start with Jamaica first. I did a video a few days ago reacting to the 26-man squad announced by the Jamaica national team, and give you guys my opinions and thoughts about that. If that interests you, make sure to go check that out. Just click on our channel, go watch one of the most recent videos. The primary news for that one is that Leon Bailey is not in the squad. I did explain that it was a disciplinary issue. He was caught past curfew, all that jazz. He was suspended by the team, so he will not be making an appearance in either the semifinal or the final if they were to make it past the USA. Leon Bailey being gone is one attacking option gone for Jamaica, but there also is two more high-level attacking options that will not be in play for the upcoming semifinal tie. That is Shamar Nicholson and Damari Gray. Both of them are on suspension from the last matchups against Canada, but they are on the roster for the final in case they reach it, unlike Leon Bailey. Now, this is a really big miss for Jamaica. I did mention this in that video again, so if you want more context about that, make sure to check it out. But Nicholson is a really big attacking option for the Jamaican national side, with 16 goals in 44 appearances for the regular boys. Damari Gray, on the other hand, has 5 goals in 10 matches for the regular boys, so both not being here against the USA is a really big deal. That's 3 out of probably their best 4 attacking options not being present against a high-level Concacaf defense in the USMNT. They will also be without Ethan Pinnock, which is, the Brentford center back there because of injury. He's not even included in the squad, meaning he won't make an appearance here or the next final if they were to make it. So 4 really big players will not be included here against the USA. However, we do still have Michael Antonio. Andre Blake in a goal will of course be present for the regular boys as well. Midfielder De Cordova-Reid will also be there. Bobby will be present with the team. I'm sure he's going to start the game as well. And yeah, without the starting lineups, that's pretty much all the news I have for you there in terms of Jamaica, who definitely boast the weaker side here against the USA. Unfortunately, despite the fact that they do relatively have a stronger CONCACAF side, they have relatively not been blessed here for the semifinal. In terms of who they have available and who they do not. Now let's quickly move on to the US men's national team for their team news as well. If you guys have not seen the squad that Greg Berhalter called up, I'll put it right here on the screen for you guys to read over real quick. There are a couple changes, however, with Luca De La Torre and Josh Sargent not being present for the semifinal clash, which is 2 pretty big losses. Luca De La Torre probably would not have started, but Josh Sargent might be the best American striker in the pool right now. To replace them, however, Haji Wright from Coventry City and Brendan Aronson have been called up. 2 big call-ups for sure. Brendan Aronson, it was a pretty big deal when he wasn't called up originally. It was kind of seen as a message by Greg to tell him that he needs to do a little bit more to be a mainstay for the American national team. Haji Wright was honestly unfortunate to not have made it in that first round of call-ups. He has been phenomenal for Coventry City. He actually scored the winning goal over the weekend to take them to the quarterfinal of the FA Cup over in England. So he definitely does deserve to be here, and definitely was not included originally out of circumstance. American fans should definitely be proud of this squad. I mean, Greg Berhalter has on record said that this was the hardest squad to call up and make cuts for, just because much of this team is definitely in form for their clubs and in their native leagues. Weston McKennie has been phenomenal for Juventus, so has Christian Pulisic for Milan over in the Serie A. Yanni Cardoso just went to Real Betis over the winter, and he is definitely rivaling Tyler Adams for the starting defensive mid spot in the USA team. Not to mention Anthony Robinson being probably a top 3, if not the best left back in the Premier League this year. He has absolutely been phenomenal as well. For the USA, a big plus in their team selection as well is the inclusion of Tyler Adams. He has been dealing with injuries since the World Cup in Qatar in 2022, almost like a year and a half ago. He has yet to play for the USA team since then. but he has been included as he is coming back from injury a little bit. He did make his most recent appearance for Bournemouth, I think like about a week ago, when they did win against Luton Town in the 4-3 comeback, but he still is a little hesitant to come back. I would like to see Johnny Cardoso taking that lead role in the DM spot. Instead of forcing Tyler Adams back into this position, I don't think it'd be necessary. You give him some minutes maybe towards the end, but I think Johnny Cardoso is young enough and has the quality enough to hold his own in that defensive midfield against Jamaica. So this starting lineup for the USA should be a rather splendid Concacaf team, to put it lightly. They definitely have what might be their best squad ever for the USA men's national team, which is quite unfortunate for the regular boys and their fans, because they do have a tough matchup ahead of them here. In the last 5 games between the USA and Jamaica, the USA only has 3 wins. However, Jamaica has 0 with 2 draws rounding out those 5. Their last meeting, of course, was in the Gold Cup earlier last year in June, where it was a 1-1 draw. Honestly, Jamaica should have won that because Leon Bailey did miss a penalty. So their last meeting, Jamaica definitely has a little bit of momentum, but it is like 8-9 months apart. So will it really make that much of a difference? I don't think so. However, you never know. I mean, USA definitely have a little bit of pressure to beat Jamaica here, because if they lose, honestly, it should be really disappointing. And you can make the argument that Greg should be sacked if they were to lose to Jamaica, which I'm sure a lot of USA fans are hoping for. So definitely a lot of pressure on the USA side. However, this is the current form in the past 5 games for both sides. For the USA, they most recently lost to Slovenia. Granted, they did play a pretty big B side and a lot of young players. They lost to Trinidad and Tobago in that absolutely brutal match. I'm pretty sure Sergio Dest is suspended for this game, because if you guys remember, that was a horrendous match to watch if you're an American fan. Before that, they beat the Trinidad and Tobago 3-0. Which is why they are here. Before that, they won against Ghana 4-0, and they lost to Germany, which was a close game, to be honest. It was the scoreline is a little misleading. The USA did perform better than it may have looked, but obviously not to the level of Germany. Germany is one of the top countries in the world in terms of football. They did not reach that. Jamaica most recently played against Trinidad and Tobago. Most recently, they drew 0-0 with them. Before that, they did beat them 1-0. Before that is when they beat Canada 3-2 to make it here, actually. Before that, they drew with the US of A in that Gold Cup matchup that I mentioned before. And then before that, they did lose to Jordan in what I believe was a friendly at the time. So USA definitely in a little bit better form as a country. Not a whole lot, to be honest. They have played some better opponents and have done better compared to Jamaica. However, the difference between them, I do feel, will be in the USA's club form for all their players. They are in phenomenal form, like I already mentioned. Jamaica, still in good form, but nowhere near as much as the USA, who are making headlines around the world for how good these players have honestly been. Now, Jamaica versus Canada most recently, it definitely was a one-sided matchup, with Canada being the more dominant side. But Jamaica did pull through, and I do think that USA is a much harder opponent than Canada, but Jamaica have been resilient recently in getting their results. I do hope to see a little bit of the same resilience here against the Americans. I said this before in the last video. Jamaica needs to be first to each ball. They need to be hustling. They need to catch the USA off guard here. I think the USA kind of are hoping for Jamaica to just sit back on defense, wait for the counterattack, which did work for them, honestly, in the last Gold Cup matchup. But I do think Jamaica have to be a little bit more on top of everything here. The USA are too good in terms of quality to just let run around and just hope that they don't score. They have too many tools at their availability that can cause a lot of damage to this Jamaica side. Whereas Jamaica don't really. Jamaica have to play very smart in here, and while I do say be first to these ball and hustle, they have to do it smart and keep their shape for sure. Now, the winner of this game, of course, will play the winner of Panama versus Mexico on Saturday, I believe. If you guys want a match preview like similar to this, make sure to let us know in the comments down below, or just leave a like on the video. That will let us know if you want this kind of content for that one. We'll be happy to make it, given that we have the time, of course. Jamaica, of course, in this away fixture, because it is being played in Texas, USA obviously have the home field advantage there. They do have a 100% record away from home in the Nations League competition so far this year, scoring 3 or more goals in each of those wins, which is pretty good. Like I said, a lot of momentum, less pressure, I guess you could say, for this Jamaican side to perform as the away side. Now, like I said, if you guys are planning on watching this game, it is going to be at 4 p.m. Pacific time, 7 p.m. Eastern time, and the winner of this will play Mexico-Panama in a few days. We're hoping to record a reaction to the game regardless of the result for you guys to watch afterwards. So if you're interested in that, make sure to subscribe now and then turn notifications on so you know when that comes out after the game. Truthfully, I think the three co-hosts here, me, Andres, and Diego, are in favor of Jamaica winning this game. We actually bought Jamaica kits that are in the mail, so I don't know if we're going to get them in time for the match, but we should get them in time for June when Jamaica plays in the Copa America. We are supposed to go watch Jamaica versus Ecuador in Las Vegas live. We are going to vlog that too when we go over there, so if that interests you, make sure to stick around, subscribe. We want that to be a really big video for us, and we're really excited for that and to have that experience with you guys. But other than that, I think that's really it for this preview for the Concacaf Nations League semifinal. If you enjoyed it, make sure to leave a like. Like I said earlier, comment down below what you think is going to happen, whether that's score prediction or any more in-depth, analysis or anything. Let us know in the comments down below. If I made a mistake, feel free to correct me. I do not mind that at all. I will be 100% responsible for what I do or do not tell you guys here. And yeah, I think that's really it. We're going to have some more Jamaica and Concacaf centered content coming over the next week or so. If any of that interests you, make sure to stick around as well. We're going to do a Jamaica video about who we think could switch over to become a Jamaican international from England or wherever else coming up next week. So make sure to subscribe for that. I think that's it, guys. Good luck to both teams here in the competition. Let us know who you want to win. All that jazz. I've repeated this 3 or 4 times already. So yeah, I'm going to call it there. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the game and the lead up to it, the aftermath, blah, blah, blah. And hopefully we'll see you guys in the next video. Take it easy, guys. Peace.